Hey, what's up guys? Just doing a really quick video today on a really fast project that I did. So as you guys know, lots of people are customizing the Mcfarlane Batmobile. So I have two of them here. This one I customized as the, classic 89 Batmobile with a custom canopy. I added the gas caps and the two step pads and gave it a repaint. I didn't bother doing the interior, so the interior is still the exact same, but it does have a custom canopy on it that's a little bit more accurate. This thing is really dusty. I do a lot of work in my office, and this thing has just gotten coated in dust. But here you can see another Batmobile, and some of you guys might recognize this from the 90s. I decided that everyone is doing that. I wanted to do something different because I had an extra one. So I decided to pimp this out as the Kenner Camo Attack Batmobile. So Mcfarlane is like notoriously doing homages to a lot of the Kenner figures, especially in their like Superpowers line. So you have, your Superpowers Batman, which is an obvious homage to the original Superpowers Batman. And then they did a repaint, which is, some people are saying this is an homage to the Kenner Crime Attack Batman, but he's just got like the classic belt there, but it's not got the nice gold emblem, so it's a pretty nice homage to the Kenner Batman. And then just recently they put out the gold edition, and this is, pretty obviously inspired by Tech Shield Batman, which was the very first ever, colored Batman that wasn't the standard colors. So I was able to grab one of these at Toys R Us, which is weird because these were supposed to be Mcfarlane exclusive, but I found it at Toys R Us, and I have a friend of mine that also secured me one. So now I'll have two, and I might actually end up pimping one of these out as Air Attack Batman to match the car. But this thing was a pretty simple build. I say simple, but it was pretty tedious. I had to take it apart, same like you do when you have to repaint your classic looking Batmobile. I had to tape off all these sections, but I didn't actually end up taping off the whole car. I actually started with the matte black base coat and then went over it, and I actually cut all of these pieces, all these white pieces, all these black pieces out. All these black pieces were just like little shapes I cut and taped them all over the car, and then went over with the white because I was looking for a bit of bleed. So as you can see, there's a little bit of bleed there, which is really accurate to the way the original was painted. There's a lot of paint bleed all over the original Camo Attack Batmobile. I'll show you guys the back here. So you can see some more paint bleeding. The only thing that I did differently was obviously the paint job isn't going to be exact. I don't even think any of them matched. I think all of them were painted by hand with a spray can. So I don't think any of them actually match. But the only thing I did differently was I didn't put any paint on the exhausts here. There should be a bit of camo here. But I ended up not doing that because these came out really nice in the flat black that I used, so I didn't want to tamper with it. So those should be also this camouflage color to be entirely faithful. And I also didn't paint the gunmetal section. So these actually all unscrew and aren't part of the car. They're a different piece on their own. So I didn't bother painting them, because they're actually a metallic paint, and I figured if anything wasn't going to work, it was going to be these. So I ended up not painting those. But as you can see, like even the headlights are now black, just like they are on the car from the Kenner era. Also, all the side details are now black, which is accurate to the Kenner version. None of these had any detail. They were just spray painted black. And even the front headlights are now gone. They're also black. It still functions. It's just a little bit tight now that there's a fresh layer of paint on here. So it's still just a one-seater, which is accurate to the Kenner version. I'm actually thinking that Mcfarlane did this, like the way that it opens up and goes forward, but also sits up. I think that the reason it sits up is because it's obviously an homage to the original Kenner Dark Knight Collection Batmobile, which this one was just a repaint of, the original Camo Attack. It was just the Dark Knight Collection Batmobile repainted. And then the last thing I did, which I'm not 100% happy with yet, was I painted the rims that chrome copper color. And the bats are black. But the bats, I can't seem to get paint to stick, so I'm going to have to toy with a bunch of other paints. But to be accurate, the inside rim should be copper like this, and the bat should be black. So as you can see, the originals here, this one is the 2-pack Batmobile. This one was the Flash version, so it had some gold here, but I had to fix it. So this is now the accurate copper color of the Kenner version, but I'm just going to go over that black bat again, because none of them really came out very well. Paint doesn't want to adhere to that part. I don't know why. But I just want to share that because I've seen a lot of people customize into a more accurate version, but I've seen nobody do this. And I think it would be cool. Like, I don't recommend doing this. This was actually, like, pretty tedious, cutting all these pieces. But it's just cool to have a different variation of that. And I didn't bother getting a new canopy with this one because it's meant to look like a toy. It's not meant to be super accurate. So I didn't feel like giving it a more accurate canopy would be necessary. But I just wanted to show this off because I've seen nobody do it, and I know that a lot of us are fond of this Batmobile. A boxed version of this is like $600 online. I'd love to get one, but I'm not spending $600. So maybe when I get my other gold Batman, I might pimp him out to match the car, because there was a figure that came with the car. It was the Air Attack Batman, but that has the same color scheme as this. So I might pimp one of these out to match the car, and I'll show that off eventually. If I do it, I don't know if I will. But just want to show that off. Haven't seen anybody do it, and brings back some childhood memories. Alright guys, thanks for watching.